what's going on.
Nothing normal about this day.
You hear it there, warning sirens of an armed and dangerous person on UNC Chapel Hill's campus, sending students running just before 1 o'clock this afternoon. Right now, that suspect is in custody and the campus is back to normal. However, the sense of deja vu has many in the UNC community reeling. I'm Lena Tillett.
And I'm Gerald Owens. We have team coverage of the UNC lockdown and what it means to a campus still processing a deadly shooting from 2.5 weeks ago. WRAL's Dan Haggerty is live on campus to lead our coverage. Dan?
This person accused Gerald and Lena of pulling out a gun in the Alpine Bagel Shop inside the Student Union behind me and causing absolute chaos, as you would imagine. And I cannot understate how significant this area is to campus. It's a major thoroughfare, people going through this area in all directions between campus, between classes. The well-known pit area will have a lot of student organizations that utilize this area. I talked to one student that said there wasn't a day that goes by that she isn't in this area for some reason, going in between classes or going into the Student Union to meet with friends for a variety of reasons. So trust me, this is an area that hits very close to home for everybody on this campus. It started just between 12:30 and 1 o'clock today when this place went into chaos and lockdown with police once again swarming the campus. The reports coming in that in that period of time, right around lunchtime when it was very busy in that area, the boyfriend of an employee at the Alpine Bagel Shop came in. There was a loud confrontation with an employee, and that person, that boyfriend, pulled out a gun. At that time, reports were that people inside obviously saw this happen, yelled gun, and everyone scattered. The people outside saw people running from the Student Union, running down the stairs, trying to get out of this area. And again, you know how that contagion begins, especially in the climate that they've been dealing with over the past few weeks. When they start seeing people running, everybody starts running. A short time later, the classes all went into lockdown after the sirens went off on campus and the alerts were sent out for everybody to lock down and be in place. Again, talking to the students here, it's a combination of so many different emotions. They are stressed out, they are frightened, they are angry. There's a sense of hopelessness as well, and you get this from so many young people here just trying to learn. Our Monica Casey was here on campus for an entirely different story when all of this began. She spent most of her day trying to get the information that we could know at the time and then speaking to students about what they're thinking and feeling. She joins us now with that bit of the story. Monica.
Yeah, Dan, we were over by the old well when we saw a couple UNC police cars go by with lights and sirens. Immediately after that, before the university sirens had even started, students were running to seek shelter. It just goes to show the mindset there is here on campus. The students I spoke with tell me hearing those emergency sirens from the university and that automated warning took them right back to those feelings they had during that longer lockdown less than 3 weeks ago. UNC Chapel Hill students were running to seek shelter as soon as emergency sirens sounded. It's unfortunately now a sound they are used to.
It felt kind of surreal for a second.
Prasoon is a freshman at UNC Chapel Hill. He was in the exact same class as he was on August 28th when campus locked down after a deadly shooting.
I felt almost like it was a joke because I was doing my own weights. I had my headphones in. My friends tells me, we're another shooting. Teacher turns the light off, and I'm like, I have to ask him one more time, like, are you sure?
UNC Police, Chapel Hill PD, and the Orange County Sheriff's Office deputies patrolled the area around the Student Union after a group was evacuated from the building. The lockdown lasted just over an hour. Kareem is a junior who was in a large lecture hall.
We barricaded the doors and we just sat and waited.
He tells me he and his classmates are exhausted.
I'm just glad nobody's hurt and, just safe. Just probably going to go back and study.
And UNC has now moved to Condition 3 until 5 p.m., meaning the university is closed, all classes canceled. They'll be in Condition 2 until about midnight tonight. Dan?
Monica, thank you so much. You mentioned how classes are changing, some classes being canceled. That adds to the stress of this student body. Many of them freshmen here with just in the first few weeks of their college experience trying to get a handle on things, and they just can't even get an accurate schedule down because of these incredible incidents that continue to happen here. Again, this incident, we're still looking for a lot of details, especially when it comes to a motive and exactly what happened inside this bagel shop. For the latest on what we know about this suspect in the case, let's send things over to Aaron Thomas. Aaron, what do we know?
Hey there, Dan. So we now have a name of a person who's now been taken into custody, and we're actually at the location where police made that arrest. For our point of reference, we are currently at the Greenfield Place Apartments in Chapel Hill. This is less than 3 miles away from UNC Student Union, or about 10 minutes away, where someone said that they saw a gun on campus. Now, just giving you a live look here, we do see there's some kids that actually just got off the school bus that are walking into this complex now, but there is a parked police cruiser from Chapel Hill Police Department. We also drove in through this complex. It is private property, but if we zoom in a little bit more, there are a few investigators on scene remaining, collecting evidence, and then we're now going to toss to video and give you a view of the person who has been arrested in connection with this incident on UNC Chapel Hill's campus. So you're looking at 27-year-old Mikael Deontay Harris. He's 27. He's from Durham. You're now looking at an old mugshot from a previous charge, not relevant to this case. We also had Sky 5 video up that showed you that large police presence on UNC's campus following such a hectic day for many of the students, faculty, following that gun brought on campus. We do have a lot of questions that remain as to what brought police here at the Greenfield Place Apartments, considering that this person that was arrested apparently lives in Durham. So was it a tip, and what led that person here? Of course, we'll be following this very closely, and we'll be tracking this as those details develop. Dan, back to you.
Right. Okay. All right, Aaron, thank you so much. And, just to give you another sense of some of the things that students here are really talking about, they have to do with what the university can do differently when it comes to the alert system. Of course, the alerts coming out are very limited and specific, but what you have to consider is that those alerts are competing with so many messages that are being sent immediately by this student body on group chats, on text messages, on social media, and a lot of that information is incorrect, and it creates a lot of hysteria and fear as they wait for more information. And students are wondering how the university can combat that by giving accurate information during such a hectic situation quickly in a time that allows them to compete with the information that's spreading here on within the student body. There's also many discussions about gun laws. We've heard students all day during our live coverage talk about how we are going to handle the prevalence of weapons in society, and now right here on the campus at UNC. But you have to remember that it is a felony to have a weapon concealed or open on this college campus. So laws are in place there to keep this sort of thing from happening. But here we are within 2 weeks at the very beginning of school with very frightening incidents for the students who attend here and are looking to learn. Lena?
Dan, I was so
Gerald.
struck by, after the students were allowed out of the Student Union building, that they all seemed to congregate and they were smiling, but it really seemed like they were just processing what had happened and even describing to one another what had happened. What is it like there now? Are you still seeing smiles on their faces?
One thing that was a little bit off-putting to me, Lena, was I spoke to two students here, two women, and they told me that they're freshmen and that they are getting through this by having these shared traumas, that the two of them have something to connect with each other over. And to me, the fact that that connection is built on something so frightening and so sad for them to have to experience, it was off-putting. It was sad to hear. But as far as the smiles, I think there's more under those smiles than these students are showing.
Absolutely, absolutely. You could tell that as well. All right, let us know what you are hearing there on UNC's campus. Dan Haggerty reporting live for us. Thanks so much.
And what Monica said in her story is true and unfortunate.